Welcome back to Petrograd in 1916. This is Let's Break History, the final days of Grigory Rasputin.
I'm going to go to the English embassy because I want to interrogate some foreigners.
Purishkevich and his friends seem to wish to liquidate the affair of Rasputin. Seems to be some sort of connection with one Lazarevich, Polish doctor is my understanding.
Want to go to Warsaw Station. We have not been there yet. I am going to snoop around for clues.
You can see that there's a set of clothes sitting on one of the seats, eerily reminiscent of the ones that Rasputin wears very regularly.
I know I want to go to Yusupov again to talk to my soft horse boy.
I hear you have a Christmas party planned?
I have 2 Christmas parties. You are invited to both, of course. Many people around think you'll have some ill will towards the Rasputin.
He's a bit of a thorn in the side of the Romanov family. Appearances, you know. So you approach Andronikov, and he gives you a bow, and he says, You know this man Komisarov, yes?
Yes, I do.
He's paid to do a little more than protect your father. Might be worth looking into.
And now, let's return to Let's Break History. Let's go now to day 7, December 7th, 1916. What would you like to do next?
I shall go to Alexandrov Market and discuss with this Lazover his involvement in this plot.
Okay. What are other people thinking?
What have we told Rasputin so far between us? Like, we told him maybe to be suspicious of his guard, but we haven't really mentioned Purishkevich or the train details yet.
Correct.
I hadn't even thought about that, but we could tell him, right? We have some specific people to watch out for. Although I feel like, the main conspirators probably won't cross paths with him as part of this plot. I won't think they'll get somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain, but I might be wrong, that it could potentially happen in his own apartment because he sees common people every day. It's not hard to disguise somebody there and go in and do it, but I might be wrong. Given he's not very keen on telling anyone where he's gonna be, that's the one place people can always anticipate he's gonna come back at some point of the day, but I might be wrong.
So, Maria, your thing is you can have, as a free action, you can talk to him, but you don't actually know where he's gonna be.
Right. I can ask him, but he won't necessarily tell me.
I could use my gossip to see if he's at his apartment.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
And I've already told you where one character is going to be, Lazarevich. But yeah, if you want it, do you want to check out Rasputin's apartment using your ability?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So you know that Andronikov and Simoniko and Rasputin will all be there tomorrow.
Hey.
Yeah, if one of you wanted to speak with Rasputin, you could go there and make an attempt.
Should I go there and try to round out my Christmas party?
If you want to, sure.
Alright, do you guys have leads, or is that...
I'm chasing the one lead that I have. A thought that I had also is that rather than trying to go directly after the lead conspirators, right, we could try to figure out who they're going to try to use as their patsy.
Right.
And go after, because it could be Shulgin or Sukhotin or Komisarov, right? One of these sort of more minor players that is actually going to be tasked with whatever the murdering is. But that's just sort of a overall approach as opposed to a specific thing.
I agree. One other thing to add is it has to be, if it's somebody going to poison him or, even come in front and then kill him, with a gun or anything, it has to be someone who is reliable enough to be around Rasputin. Right? But I don't think people who are clearly against him would have a FaceTime with him.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's an underdog we're missing somewhere here that may have connection. But I don't know who that person is. Who is the third person who's going to be in Rasputin's apartment besides Andronikov and Rasputin?
Simoniko Podchaser is going to be there as well.
Yeah, but these are all like his good people.
Presumably.
Yeah, presumably. You're right. Did Maria's facial ability pan out? Did she found out anything?
At the end of this day, Simoniko will make a report to her.
Okay, not right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, was anybody making a decision? Otherwise, I'm just going to go in one of the palace and snoop around.
I'm heading to Rasputin's apartment to see if we can inform him of some stuff and try to get him in a secure spot for a while.
Yeah. I changed my mind. Can I go to the newspaper? I want to go there.
Sure.
I think I'm going to go to the Winter Palace.
Okay. So you head to the Winter Palace, and Anna heads to the newspaper. All right.
So, okay.
So where do we want to start with today?
I guess I can kick us off
All right.
at the market.
So Purishkevich is here as well as Dr. Lazavert. Those are the persons of interest. You could also snoop around.
I'm going to try to talk to Lazavert.
All right. First off, give me a perceive roll. And
Okay.
this is a roll where you need to get higher than an 11 to succeed.
Okay.
But I won't tell you how much higher.
19.
Ooh, okay.
So actually, should I also roll furniture before we start this interaction?
Yes, you should.
Okay. All right. It was 2, so I dodged it.
Yep. Yeah, 19 and then a 2. All right. Well, so you are actually going to talk to a real person and not some random object at the market. But you do notice, it looks like to you, as you approach, that Lazavert and Purishkevich were about to talk to each other, and then they see you coming and just split directions, and you track down Lazavert to talk to him.
Okay. Dr. Lazavert, a moment of your time, good sir.
Oui? What can I do?
Is he French?
For you? I don't know. He's Polish.
I think he's Polish, yeah.
I don't know what a Polish accent is, so I've just sort of been doing a Russian accent for him. Yeah. I really should have practiced my Polish accent.
I think it's fine. So Protopopov says, I noticed your companion there before you dashed off. A Mr. Purishkevich, was it not?
Purishkevich is his name, but yes. I know him.
I will. Yes, I know him quite well. I will tell you, Doctor, that Mr. Purishkevich is under investigation by my ministry, the Ministry of the Interior, for high crimes against the Russian state. You would be forthcoming, I hope, in any investigation into these matters.
Give me a persuade roll.
Okay.
Trying to decide if I want it to be at disadvantage or not.
Okay.
I don't think
I rolled
so.
a 14.
Just roll a straight up persuade roll.
I got a 14.
14. Okay. He's quaking a little bit at the mention of the ministry. He says, "Look, I just know him. He was my commanding officer in the war, and I owe him quite a bit."
What was your meeting about today, then?
I did not actually get a chance to talk to him.
What was your meeting going to be about, Doctor?
He wanted to talk to me about a certain Christmas party.
You don't say.
Give me a perceive roll.
Sure. 5.
Yeah, you can't really tell what he means by that.
Can I keep on him though?
Yeah, you can keep grilling him if you want.
So I say a Christmas party. That's oddly familiar, but no mind. My investigation into Mr. Purishkevich concerns Grigory Rasputin. What do you know of this man?
Give me one more persuade roll here.
Okay.
All right.
13.
He says, look, if I tell you what I know, am I protected? I do not want to be screwed here, as it were.
Protopov laughs and says, a wise decision, my friend. Yes, you have my word that I, as a minister, will do everything within my power to protect you from being entangled in whatever comes down from this conspiracy.
Well, I am involved in something to do with Rasputin, yes. I don't know everything, but Purishkevich, he asked me how to handle potassium cyanide.
Cyanide? A type of poison?
Very, very dangerous substance, yes.
Do you know in what manner they intended to deliver this poison?
They were asking how it could be used to poison a man either through food or through drink. I am ashamed that I helped them.
Have you provided them with this poison already?
I have not done so. It is my understanding that they had another source.
Very well. Thank you, Doctor, for your assistance in this matter. When the bells ring for these wicked men, you have my assurances that you will be protected.
I appreciate that. I will hold you to your promise. All right. So that's your major action for the day. Pretty big bombshell there. Do you want to use your minor action for your investigators?
I do. I want them to attempt to compile a list of people in Petrograd that could have access to cyanide.
Interesting. Okay. Yes, I will do that if you can get them to succeed on a investigate roll with disadvantage.
All right, here goes nothing.
Ooh, that's 19 and an 11.
Ooh, narrowly.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to have to think on that, but I will give you that list at the end of the day.
Okay.
So, we've done the market. Where to next?
I can go next.
Okay. So you're at the newspaper. You see that there's
The newspaper woman?
Miss or Mrs. Becker. And in addition to that, Samuel Hoare is at the newspaper as well. And then, of course, you can snoop around if you prefer.
I'm just gonna snoop around.
Okay.
Investigate?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's a 5.
not good.
All right, yeah, so you snoop around. You hear a whole bunch of gossip. You do, however, get another newspaper headline since you're here. So the headlines for tomorrow read, Russian monk, the absolute master of the Tsar. And unfortunately, your snooping around doesn't turn up as much as it did yesterday.
Can I do anything? I can go to Zarasillo with a minor action since nobody's there.
You can, but you will, however, not have a major action left. So once you're there, you'll just sort of be there and you won't have anything you can do.
Okay. Then I'm done for the day.
Okay. Thank you for listening. I interrupt you mid-episode to beg you for help. You see, we're an independent podcast, otherwise known as a rinky-dink operation. You can probably tell from the quality of our audio. Best way you can support us now is by rating and reviewing the podcast wherever you're listening to it. If you include a history fact in your review, we'll include it at the end of one of the podcasts. You can also support us by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/letsbreakhistory. Regardless of how you choose to support us, we're just happy you're listening. Thank you from me and from everyone else who helped put this podcast together. So let's go to either the Winter Palace or Rasputin's apartment.
I can go.
Okay, so we head now back to Rasputin's apartment. To remind you, Andronikov, Kadsi, and Rasputin are all here. And then there are, of course, the agents outside who are guarding Rasputin as well.
I'm going to try to talk to Rasputin and fill him this spot.
So you can use your minor action to try to influence his behavior or to convince him to go somewhere, or maybe just to know where he's going to go tomorrow.
Okay, got it.
He sees you and he says, "Oh, Yusupov, how is your chest?"
Oh, Rasputin, thank you. Is better lately, thanks to you. Your miracle powders and tonics and hands.
I leave the powders and tonics to Batmave, but and the miracles I leave to God. If you are feeling well, it is because of God's grace, not mine.
God sure is amazing.
I agree. Very amazing guy.
Speaking of God, we have some information for you that may factor in God at a later point. It seems this Purishkevich fellow doesn't really like you so much, and maybe trying to do something to you at your apartment soon. I don't know. Trying to send you something. You've heard of this?
I have heard about this Purishkevich saying lies about me at the Duma, trying to turn everyone against me.
Of course, it may be slightly more sinister. I think we should. I have a Western Christmas party coming up very soon, probably tomorrow, where I think you would be most safe to attend, and God will shine his favor on you for this wonderful social event.
Oh yes, who else shall be at Christmas party?
I already have a list. So in addition to my good soft horse boy Pavlovich and the whore, the English whore, you have heard of him, Samuel Whore. I will also have my charming wife. You know of her.
Oh yes, her beauty is well famed throughout Petrograd.
Yes, my lovely wife, Irina Alexandrovna, who I love so much and am so faithful to.
Alright. You can tell that Rasputin might be interested in more than just meeting your wife.
My wife is so hard at work around Yusupov Palace getting Christmas ready. She says to me, who gives a fuck about Christmas decorations? Well, I do. Irina Alexandrovna.
Alright, well, give me a persuasion roll without the disadvantage to convince Rasputin to go to your Christmas party.
Okay, we talking 13.
I shall attend your party. This sounds like a good time. I am very eager to meet your wife in particular.
Yes, she'll be so happy to meet you too. It is, I don't think I told you, it's a white elephant, so you'll need to bring gift. I do not think you can bring God.
God will always be there.
Of course, but no, seriously, you'll need to bring a gift of moderate amounts and wrap it ahead of time, so people will know what it is. I think between you and me, I think people are already bringing horses and marbles. So
whenever I do white elephant, people always know that I will bring shitty gift, and they pick mine list. And 1 year, I end up with my own gift.
I know, just moderate value gift. Not shitty, but you don't need to go crazy.
Alright, so that's your minor action for the day. Convincing Rasputin that he really does need to bring a gift for your white elephant gift exchange. And what would you like to do with your major action? You can snoop around a bit, or you could talk to somebody.
Okay, so I can still talk to someone after him, or snoop around.
Yeah, interactions with Rasputin are minor actions.
For an improvised action, do I need to explicitly state that I've finalized a date for the Christmas party and it's tomorrow? Or
well, what do you have in mind?
Just the ability to send out couriers to people that I know are already going to come.
Oh, sure, yeah. If you want to use your action to inform everybody that your long-awaited Christmas party is tomorrow, you can do that.
Yes, that is tomorrow, and to remind them to bring their white elephant gifts.
Okay, nice. All right, so we'll go finally to the Winter Palace, where Maria is. So let's take a look at who is at the Winter Palace today. So the only person of note that you see here is Dmitry Rubinstein. And of course you can snoop around if you prefer to do that, then talk to Dmitry.
So many Dimitris. Yeah, let's snoop around a bit.
Okay, give me an investigate roll.
Investigate. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a 6.
No.
So you go around trying to listen in on conversations and things, but you don't really pick up anything of note. People aren't really talking about your father that much here today. I think we will go on. I think that's the end of the day here. So there were a couple end of the day thingies. One was Simoniko. So Simoniko tracks you down and says, "Oh, my love, I have done what you asked, and I have talked to Komisarov and made it very clear that he shall never do anything to hurt your father."
Oh, you beautiful man. Thank you so much.
He told me he was part of plot to kill your father, but apparently the Beletsky, chief of police, he got cold feet. And so the murder plot is off.
Ah, well, thank goodness for that. Thank God for that.
I gave him good beating for you, though, since he even thought of hurting your father. He's a very bad man, very motivated by money. He could not stop talking about the reward that he would miss out on, given that your father would continue to be alive.
You are a beautiful man. Thank you so much.
All right. So there's one more end-of-day thing, which is the list of people who could potentially have potassium cyanide. So the investigators you send chase down leads. They think about it pretty hard, and they know that Bad Maeve could potentially have such a thing, or have the facilities to make it himself from various natural plants and things that contain cyanide. And then they also learn that Vasily Maklikov was recently involved in some sort of deal where he purchased some cyanide.
Good work, boys. Well done.
And I think that's it for end of day stuff. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did my courier action? Do I have any update on that, or did people send reply couriers some mail?
You get responses. Everything seems to be set for your white elephant Christmas party.
Yes.
All right. So let's go back to the garden again, and confer.
All right. So everyone, gift should be approximate worth no less than 25 rubles, no more than 200 rubles.
Very reasonable.
Protopopov sits there and he's stroking his beard, just sort of mulling on things. He goes, Christmas party, Christmas party, Christmas party! Wait, Maria, is your father going to any other Christmas parties this year?
I do not believe so.
This Dr. Lazovert, he said something about a Christmas party. Maybe he's going to be poisoned at this Christmas party.
Oh, well, perhaps he's talking about our friend's party.
I believe it's maybe time. So
well, to be clear,
time.
I am holding Western Christmas party. The rest of Christmas parties will happen in January during good Orthodox Christmas.
I believe it's maybe time, my friends, to report to the police. We know that Pavlovich and Purishkevich have been plotting, and my investigators have turned up that Maklikov has recently procured some cyanide. We know he has been, Maklikov has always harbored resentments against Rasputin. And we even know now the method and even possibly the place of the death. Shall we submit a report to the police and see what happened?
How do we know about the place? Are we certain?
You heard Doctor say one thing about Christmas party. I am not certain.
I agree. It is not much to go on.
Will there be any backfire if our information did not pan out?
So each of you gets to make one report to the police, or in your case, a report to the Tsarina, and that's it. So the potential is that someone uses their report, and if they're incorrect, then you still have a couple more bites at the apple.
Gotcha.
But it is a limited resource.
Yeah.
So
what's
we need to identify 3 conspirators.
Yes, so if Anna isn't making the report to the Tsarina, and instead it's any of the rest of you making the report to the police department, then the person who reports it should name 3 conspirators.
So I can only name 2. So for me, the only place is outstanding. Everything else, I already know. I have the 2 for certain, like conspirators. I do know at least so far, the weapon, which is a cyanide, and I just don't know the place for sure. We can take a chance. I can still go to Zarina and then just tell her, and we have another chance to go to police. But if we go back to police, then, but to go to police, we need 3. Do we know 3 for sure?
Protopopov hears all of this and says, "My friends, I feel strongly that I must engender this report. If what I believe is true, then we have merely a single day before this fateful Christmas party where Rasputin will be killed. I believe it worth my good name with the police to submit this report, unless you, my friends, encourage me otherwise to hold off."
Protopopov, what I'm hearing is that you hate Christmas and you hate baby Jesus.
It has nothing to do with Christmas, my good man.
We can also...
It is literally the most wonderful time of year. All the wives will be there. There will be lovely white elephants exchange.
Which is why I do not wish it to be besmirched with a horrible death.
I believe that we should do whatever we can in order to prevent my father's death. I think I agree with you. We should go to the police.
Do we know the 3rd conspirator for sure? Otherwise, I'd rather go to Zarina and report there.
I feel some confidence that it is Makhlakov and not my lovely Dr. Badmeev, who would never do such a horrible thing as to provide cyanide to kill this great man.
Bonsoir. But, Dr. Lanzavert, what are you doing here? I do not know. Wait a minute, are you French, or are you Russian? Polish? Let's not worry about that too much. Fine. Maybe you can read the history facts at the end. Alright, that sounds good. Okay, well, thanks, I guess. That's our episode. Thanks so much for listening. If you're enjoying the podcast, please consider supporting us by going to patreon.com/letsbreakhistory. Seriously, do it now. Member benefits include early access to episodes, custom artwork, and other cool stuff. We're a small team putting this together for the fun of it, but we could really use the money to get some better equipment and pay for website maintenance, stuff like that. So tell your friends too. Get your phone out and demand that your uncle or your coworker or your dog give this podcast a try. Also remember to review us. If you give us a history fact in your review, a character from the podcast will read it at the end of an episode. Feel free to suggest which character you want to read your history fact. We love hearing from our listeners, so you can tweet at us using @BurningTavern and find our Facebook page at facebook.com/BurningTavern. Remember, folks, sometimes history does not quite repeat itself. See you next week. Okay, I'm back. This week's history fact concerns the famous cedar trees of Lebanon. The now arid Mount Lebanon used to be entirely forested. Unfortunately, due to deforestation, about 13% of the trees remain. Even so, the cedar tree remains an important symbol to Lebanon, and with the help of foreign aid, they are working to replant the forests.